All right, here we go. We're back in Luminar, and I'm looking at this picture that I took a while ago that I really like. I think it's a cool picture. And I normally do everything in color. If you go through my Instagram feed, pretty much everything I do is in color. And this photo, I think looks cool, but I'm leaning towards probably black and white, just because it's kind of simple. This old busted up pier. This is a pier. This is in the Keys on the ocean side. This pier was destroyed in Hurricane Irma. But anyway, what I want to do is kind of go through it as a color photo a little bit and then probably kick it over to black and white. I think let's just see. Anyway, okay, here we go. Camera landscape. We'll pull on the highlights a little bit, open up the shadows, do a little bit of a white point. I want it to be bright. So if it's black and white, it's going to be really bright. Then obviously, with this, I like the fact the sky is kind of bright. The water looks a little funky, but not bad. Maybe a little black point. Let's see. I don't have any clarity yet. None of that. None of that. So I love the highlight contrast slider. Something like that. Like that. I don't know. That looks really cool. And the polarizing filter just kind of maybe bring that sky down a little bit. See, I think in a color version that looks better. So that looks kind of cool. I don't know. All right, let's try something. Let's do this move. I'm gonna grab my black and white thing. Landscape black and white fade. Let's see here. Contrast. Let's put on here, luminance. See, I think, let's try this though. Let me do this. Let me do this. I don't want to polarize it as much because I want the sky here. This is essentially the same thing. This is the same thing as a polarizer, basically. But I kind of like the sky to look like that, and then the water. So maybe if we go this way, there we go. That looks kind of cool. And then maybe in here we'll do a little bit more sort of global contrast. And then that looks kind of cool. Detail enhancer. I definitely want to work on the details. That's all I'm going to do in here. I want to get the details in here to pop. So a couple of ways I could do it. First one would be to just, well, regardless, I'm going to grab a new layer. Let's just get the best way to get it on there. So I'm going to grab my details panel and I'm going to go with structure. See, I don't like that. It looks bad in the sky. Structure, it looks good on the pylons, doesn't it? And then I'm going to go maybe some small details. I just really want this mostly to live on the pylons. And then maybe, okay, so I got to figure out how to get it on there. I don't think brushing it on is going to work. So I'm going to try a luminosity mask, but luminosity is good. It's not great. I wish you had a little bit more control over it because I got a feeling that I'm going to be applying it still to the background. So to see it, we got to grab a brush. So this, obviously I need to, excuse me, I need to invert. So it's a little bit better. And density, I'm sure, is 100. Yeah, it's at 100%. So that's pretty good. I mean, I might grab this brush, make it a little bit bigger, and erase, and just try to erase it out of the sky for sure. But what I don't really want to do is to start getting into where I'm coming down in here too much. So I'm just going to kind of come around the edges and let that middle section be the section. And I don't know, it might not blend well. It might be noticeable because when you start adding like structure details, you start getting lots of it's like grainy bittiness. But we can probably knock that out with the denoise on an inverted one of these. All right. Let's see, how does this look here? Add medium details, and I'll just hammer these just to kind of see what they're doing. I think that looks kind of cool, actually. Probably not large. There's the before, the after. And then now that I'm kind of in there, I'm also going to try, this is what I like to do. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to grab contrast, just a little bit of contrast. Ooh, I think that looks good. See, I like that. All right, let's add a new layer. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to mask, paste. And then I'm going to invert. Got a brush so we can see it. Yeah, okay. So now, what do we want to do here? I want to soften. I'm going to do my, I'll just grab my soften layer. I'll add denoise to it. And just kind of see, like I said, I'm going to play with this. Let's see, image radiance. I think that looks kind of good. Nice and smooth. There's no shadows there. Sometimes I just grab stuff to see what it does. Matte look really brightens it up. Maybe a little bit of that. It's a little contrast. So, is that too much? Too bright? I don't know. I like that. No Orton effect, no soft focus. Let's grab denoise. Because I'm sure, and then I got a sensor spot right there. Alright, let denoise go. So we'll denoise. Yeah, I think that looks pretty smooth. See, I like that. I think that looks cool. I don't know. I think that looks really cool. I do have a sensor spot right here I'm going to have to deal with. It's barely noticeable, and right here I can see these two sensor spots. Are there any more? I can't really notice them. So there's the before as the color version. Kind of a toss-up. I don't know. I think this would look good framed. You know, get that white matte going with a black frame, and then you get this really sort of simple but jagged, busted up pier. I think that looks kind of cool. Let's clean up that sensor spot. I'll grab my clone and stamp tool. There we go. Click to set source. Let's zoom in a little bit first. Man, I can like barely see it now. The denoise really scrubbed it out. Alt, and just kind of, that'll work. I don't know. So, excuse me, I struggle with black and white because I never do it. I always do color, especially in landscapes and seascapes. One of the things I like is the color, but in a shot like this, I mean, I think the texture is cool. I think it's, I don't know, I think that's sweet. Now, if I were a real photographer and was a real pro, I would have been down there on a tripod with a big ND filter, and I would have shot a long exposure to smooth the water out. I did not. I shot this handheld. I shot a bunch of photos that day on the beach. And I don't know, I kind of like this. I think it looks pretty cool. So let's just go maybe layer by layer here. So there's the color layer. There's our black and white layer. And this is where we added the details. I think that looks sweet. I think those details look awesome. This is where we sort of cleaned up and smoothed out the sky. Yeah, see, look, I think that looks cool. I like it. I like it. I'm into it. Very bright, very bright. Let's look at the histogram. Yeah, very bright. But that's sweet. I like it. Let me know what you think. Color, black and white. Well, actually, color, black and white. I'm into it. I think that looks sweet. I like the black and white. I'm gonna keep an eye on this one for a while. This could be something that I would frame and hang up in my house. Sometimes I think black and white looks better hanging on your walls because color can be a little bit too much, but in a room if it doesn't quite fit the motif or whatever. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export it. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What did you think of my technique?